if you want to be a good coach, you know what it takes to be a good coach is it takes clients. You need to have clients to be a good coach, and you need to make the ask. And here's a great way to practice.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of the Kingdom Builders podcast. We have our fearless founder and leader, Coach Tam is in the house, and I will be the one operating as her wingman and her sidekick as we're celebrating. See those fireworks? That's to let you know you're in the right place at the right time. I'm Coach Jillian, and we are excited to dive into all things coaching. Are you a coach or do you know someone who does? I'm telling you, it is all the rage. Coaching, it's not going anywhere. And today we are going to interview and ask the heavy-hitting questions. We'll just keep going with the greatest coach I know. That is Coach Tam. All right, Coach Tam, we are talking all things coaching, and I am learning about interviewing still. And I want to ask you before we get started, is there anything that you want to say about coaching in general? I have a list of questions prepared. I have my own questions. But just to kick us off, let's just warm the waters up. Let's just splash around a little bit, okay? Everybody jump into the coaching pool. The water is delightful. Coach Tam, what do you have to say about coaching?
Okay, I will say, there's a lot. When I think about coaching, I think about all the things that I love. I love the flexibility of it. I love that you can create your own hours. I love the people that I work with. Our students and clients are just absolutely the best and so much fun. And I think as long as you just kind of roll with the punches. And I think this is true in the speaking arena too. When you're doing live events, things happen. And I think if you don't take it too seriously and don't get too stressed and frantic about it, everybody else is pretty cool with it as well. Back to coaching. I love that we can travel. I love that all I need is my laptop and my phone and a Wi-Fi signal, and I'm in business. I love the whole aspect of the business of coaching as well. I love the marketing process. I love the sales process. I love fulfillment and deliverables. I love the teaching. I love the preparation of curriculum. I love community. I'm really honestly hard pressed to think of anything that I don't love. It's very difficult to think of anything that I don't love about coaching.
Well, This is my first question to you then, because it sounds so great. Do you believe truly that anyone can be a coach?
I believe that anyone can be a coach. The question is, will you get out of your own way? Will you get out of your head? Will you get out of your insecurities? Will you get out of your self-doubt? Will you stop bowing down to fear? Will you stop procrastinating? Those are the real challenges. Coaching is easy. Coaching is really easy because you're drawing on a body of knowledge. You're drawing on your experience. There's a lot of connection and sort of intimacy in the coaching space. People are vulnerable. They're real. They're asking for help. They're eager to learn. Coaching is the easy part. The hard part is what I would call maybe the spiritual battles and the insecurities that especially new coaches struggle with. But once you actually launch out into the deep and you start doing the thing, most people really find that it's just hand in glove and that they really love it.
Do you think that there may be 2 or 3 myths about coaching that you could talk about, things that maybe people tend to falsely believe around the idea of becoming a coach?
One thing is certification. People tend to think that they need certification and that they need training. And coaching is not a regulated field, so there is no requirement for certification. And in fact, I've never been certified as a coach, and I've had thousands of paying clients. Nobody's even ever asked me if I'm a certified coach. Nobody's even asked that. I've put that forward a lot of times when I've talked about this, but nobody has ever even asked me about that. Another myth is that you have to be prepared. You have to have curriculum. You have to have a big plan. You have to have filmed modules. You have to have a website. All of these have to haves, not true at all. Our new students, 78% of them get their first paying clients within the first 90 days. And we're talking about high paying clients, $1,000 or more, following our system. Now we give them the blueprint. We help them package up their program, put a price point on it, and give them the basic structure for it. But they don't have websites. Most of them have never done coaching before. A lot of them are even new to the influencer space. We do have a lot of public speakers. We do have a lot of preachers and ministers, but a lot of our students, I would venture to say even most of them, don't have any of that. They have no background, they have no leads, they have no audience, and it's their very first experience in coaching. Even they, 78% of them get their first paying clients in the first 90 days. So a myth is that you have to be prepared. And I kind of think of this as like, I have to get my life right before I come to Christ. That's true. It's Christ that makes your life right after you receive him into your life and you bow the knee and say, I'm going to be obedient to the word of God. I'm gonna let the Holy Spirit help me work out my issues. It's kind of the same thing in coaching, is that you don't need all of that preparation. You just need to step into it, and preferably with a plan. You don't want to kind of try and figure it out on your own, because that's going to take you a long, long time and probably create a large amount of discouragement as well.
What would you say? Zach's a big fan of the one thing. So what would you say to all of the coaches, regardless of the age, the stage, the phase? If you want to be a successful coach, this is going to be the one thing that all successful coaches have in common. What do you think it is?
I think that it's make the ask. I think it's make the ask. So a lot of coaches or wannabe coaches and even experienced coaches will sort of procrastinate by scratching the itch of productivity. So I often say the difference between business and busyness is that business makes money. Business makes money, but busyness doesn't, right? So a lot of times people will say, well, let me spend months on this little lead magnet, or let me spend years writing a book or producing video curriculum. And they'll just do everything that there is except to talk to people, let them know about their program, and make the ask. So I do have a bit of very good advice that I feel that the Holy Spirit approves of. In fact, I feel the entire Trinity will be in agreement with this. And that is that if you want to be a good coach, you know what it takes to be a good coach is it takes clients. You need to have clients to be a good coach, and you need to make the ask. And here's a great way to practice is every day, find 3 people to share your faith with. Find 3 people to share your faith with and offer to pray with them to receive Christ.
Wow.
You will do that. It's going to be no problem for you to talk about your program and to say, hey, do you feel like this would be beneficial for you? Is this something that you think would help you? And move them into that process of closing them into the program. So evangelism, listen, good evangelists are great salespeople. Average evangelists are good salespeople. If you will get good at evangelism, it will teach you everything that you need to know about bringing forth your message to potential clients and moving them into your programs.
I love that. What do you say and what do you think about your clients shaping your coaching program? I know we and KBA talk a lot about building the plane as you're learning to fly, so to speak. But can you talk about what that looks like? You know, whether you're just starting out and have your first client, or maybe you've just got a first group, or maybe you've been coaching for 5 years and group coaching is something that you are mastering at this point. What do you think about, and how do you think the client or the student should have an impact in terms of shaping the program itself and shaping you as a coach?
I think it's absolutely key. I think that it is foolish, and I'm saying that gently. I am using my words with great restraint right now. I think it is super foolish to create a program without clients. What you need is you need an outline. You need to have figured out, let's say I'm doing an 8-week program. Here's what I'm going to do in month 1, month 2, month 3. Here's the core lessons I'm going to teach. These are the outcomes that the clients are going to receive. And that's all you need to acquire clients. Then you build out your curriculum. You don't want to spend a lot of time in isolation creating a curriculum, because I guarantee you it will be the wrong curriculum. You want to have clients because they're going to tell you exactly what they want. And then that is also going to help you when you sell the program in the future. Now you know what clients with this particular problem, and that's one thing I would say to coaches as well, is solve a problem. Solve a pressing problem for your clients. Don't be a jack of all trades and a master of nothing and think, oh, I can just be a life coach. I can coach people with anything that they need. It's just not the process for acquiring paying clients, particularly high paying clients in the coaching space. You really need to niche down and figure out one specific group of people that you're going to work with, and one very difficult problem that you're going to help them solve. And part of the way that you help them solve that is just accountability to habits that will make their success inevitable. So if you can help them stay consistent to habits that will make their success inevitable, they will get results.
Well, that leads me to my next question is, what do you think, or what are some components you could name specifically that make separate good coaches from those who are genuinely effective and impactful? Are there certain traits or components that any coach can learn or adapt to, that when they're coaching, this is going to ensure that they are effective coaches for their clients, versus just, kind of feel good coaches or coaches that have got, nice things to say? What do you think the difference is? Because, a lot of the time people, I'd say all the time, that they're seeking out a coach, there is a definite problem. We have a definite problem. Either I'm on the rocks, or my marriage is on the rocks, or my money's on the rocks, or my business is on the rocks, but something's on the rocks, And so I want an effective coach. I want something that's going to be impactful. What have you learned over the years as you have grown as a coach to, thousands and thousands, and even at times coaching 15 or 20,000 people at a time? What have you discovered makes you the most effective, impactful coach that you are today?
I think that there is a place for friendship, and for comforting your clients, and for encouraging them. I think that there is a place for that as a good coach. And when you talk about an effective coach is getting results for their clients. And at the same time, I just want to say, because I know that a lot of people get very nervous about this, and they choke on this idea of feeling just this huge weight of responsibility that I've got to get my clients' results. But I just want to comfort you a little bit and say that it's a bridge. You build your half and the client builds their half, and you guys meet in the middle. because you can be the best coach in the world. You can have the best curriculum. You can have a curriculum that you know works. You have proven it like we have for decades.
Yeah.
That our process works. The people who use it get results. Now, there may be a skill deficit, right? Some people come in highly confident, very motivated. They put their hand to the plow and they don't look back. They say, I will succeed. And that kind of mental attitude most naturally leads to better results. Other people come in sort of hesitant. They're sort of iffy. Let me dip my toe in the water. Maybe they don't have as honed of a skill set. Maybe they're not the best communicators or the best writers or the best salespeople. And so they need to up their skill levels. And that's fine. But the point is that the client also has a responsibility. So the client has a responsibility to show up for themselves, to do the program, to do the work, to show up on their calls, and to utilize the helps that you're giving them, to utilize your curriculum. And a big part of the coach is to provide that system, to provide a system, to provide accountability, to provide encouragement so that they stay in the game, so that they don't quit on themselves. Because like you say, it's a big problem. Something's on the rocks for them to come to a coaching program. Usually that didn't happen in a matter of months. Their marriage didn't go to pot in a matter of months. It was sort of years of drift or years of conflict, or their health. They didn't come into a health crisis in a matter of months. It was years of neglecting their health. Same thing could be said in any other arena. So you've got to be able to keep them in the game long enough to get them results. I think those are some of the traits of effective coaches.
Yeah, I love that. In your life, have you ever had a coach in any area of life? And if you have, can you share one or two things that you actually learned about coaching from being in a coaching relationship with them? And also, what was the most impactful thing in that relationship? Like, what was it like to be coached? And when you walked away, you said, like, this was the most impactful thing for me, and this is what I learned about being a great coach.
Well, I'll tell you, I've had lots of coaches. In fact, I've spent over $1 million on coaching.
Wow.
So I've had a lot of great coaches. I've had some average coaches. I've paid for some low ticket things that really weren't great. Usually when you get to a higher price point, you're going to get a much better experience.
Yeah.
But anytime, I started off today before we started the recording talking about this new desk that I'm at right now. It's a whiteboard desk. It goes up and down, and I've got all this equipment for a new studio that I'm putting together. Well, I'm not going to try and figure that out on YouTube and TikTok. Like that's just a crazy way of going about it. So I hired a coach. I hired a coach who's really excellent at video production, and they're helping me put together the studio. I'm following a format and framework. That particular coach cost me $30,000.
Wow.
And I think that that's part of what makes us effective coaches around here, is that we do pay for coaching, and we pay more money than you're probably willing to pay or have available to pay for coaching. And then we learn the things and we put our spin on it and teach it to you. Yeah. So, but in terms of what I've learned from coaches that I've had, I would say, I'll tell you a little bit of a negative. Even this $30,000 coach that I just hired knows their stuff, but their systems and processes are really convoluted, that you're finding information, this place, that place, the other place. And I'm very frequently having to go back to them and say, hey, I need you to send me a link on this. I need you to answer this specific question, because their curriculum is not laid out in a user-friendly type of way. So, but effective coaches that I've had, some of the most effective coaches that I've had have been good at correcting that where they see that they'll challenge me. Hey, you're not doing the thing, or I think you've got a lousy attitude about this. And I think that when you change your attitude, your results are going to be different. So they've been kind of confronting me a little bit where I need to be confronted. I think that that is part of the coaching process too. And it's for your clients' good. Now, if they're highly sensitive and easily offended, you might want to just put a little sprinkle of sweet on it. But I think that's a good thing about coaching. And the best coaches, I think, have streamlined systems, are good communicators, and help you get quick results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. This is the question from Coach Zach. He says, what should a successful coach do if they have a desire to take their coaching to the next level? What is it that they should focus on if they want to go to the next level in coaching?
Okay, so you can start coaching with your prior experience, with maybe adversity that you've overcome. You can start coaching, as I said earlier, without curriculum, without a website, without a list. Just put together a really great program, put a great price point on it. And where we really are excellent is giving you the language. We give you an actual script. We show you how to overcome objections. We make it turnkey for you to launch. So right now we're doing a coaching program called the Kingdom Coach Accelerator. And we've got a group of about 100 students going through that. And they'll be launching in 5 weeks. In 5 weeks, they've got clarity on who they help, how they help them, what their offer is, what their price point is. They do market research, and then they launch. So if you want to scale, however, it's a different process. It's a different process from launching. So launching requires a little leap of faith to just get out there and do it and talk to people and package up your program and put a price point on it, and then have conversations with people that lead them to take action and to sign up. We have a very good process for that. We have a process that ends in after 45 minutes to an hour of speaking with a qualified person, not somebody who's so broke it's no joke, or, I'm talking about somebody who's a qualified person, where it ends in 30% of the time. They say, here's my credit card. Let's go. It's not a lot of follow-up, all of that kind of stuff. So that the language skills are really good. Okay, that's beginning a program. And as you begin to grow, what you do is you double down, double down, double down. Don't get distracted. A lot of times coaches will do something very effectively, and maybe they'll do it again very effectively. And then they'll go, oh, well, now I want to do this thing. No. If you want to scale, stay focused on that thing that is working. I'm a big believer in doing what God is blessing. As I look at my life, I'll go, okay, I see God is blessing in that area. I look to God for direction in that way too. What are we doing that you're blessing? Let's do more of that.
Yeah.
And so stay focused on that one thing. Stay focused on that core curriculum, that core coaching program that you've already got proof of concept on. Then as you grow, and at the same time, now I'm 15 years into being a full-time coach.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage, I'm still learning new things. Like, keep learning, keep growing. Once you've kind of mastered public speaking, move into copywriting, learn the skills of copywriting, always be learning client acquisition skills, learn how to do online ads, learn how to do video, just keep growing, get your book out there, get your channels on your online channels, get those going. It is a little bit of a balancing act. You do have to say, okay, well, I only have so much time and space, and what should I be focused on right now? But to go to the next level as a coach, I think from that beginning stage, the next thing that you want to look at is an evergreen program that requires very little from you. So that means that you've got your curriculum recorded, so you're not saying the same things over and over again. You're giving your clients access to you, but in somewhat limited doses. So for me right now, on a busy week, I do 3 hours of coaching. That's a busy week for me. Now I'm also doing other things. I'm filming, I'm creating curriculum, I'm speaking, I'm doing some management within the organization. But ultimately, if you want to scale your organization, you've got to do it in a way that's going to be time efficient for you as the coach, meaning that you've got your curriculum recorded, you've got an evergreen program that you can sell 365 days a year. Clients can come in at any time and they can stay forever. That there's enough for them to do and to continue to grow and to continue to want your help as they grow. They can stay forever. And so we have clients in Kingdom Builders Academy who have been with me for over a decade. So I think that's the thing that you need to do. You need to learn, you need to evergreen, and you need to systematize so that the more successful you get, it's not destroying you. You got to take care of yourself as the coach too.
Yeah. I love that. I have loved being with you today on the Kingdom Builders podcast. Coach Tam, thanks for talking all things coaching. I hope you've loved it. Make sure to send us a message, drop us a little note, put a comment in the chat, share with us what impacted you most. Are you a coach? Because if you're a coach and you're looking for a home, we've got one for you. We are the coaches. So why don't you check us out? We would just love to be able to connect with you, to share even more about our community and those who are in it. You won't regret that. We're so happy that you stopped by today, that you listened. We love you. We're praying for you. Coach Tam, you were brilliant as always. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Tamara Lowe, founder of Kingdom Builders Academy, here with a free gift for you, our loyal podcast listeners. We're giving away free copies of my newest book, Business Plus Ministry Equals Success, a superior model to profitably change your world. You can download your free copy right now at kbabook.com. That's kbabook.com. Thanks for tuning in to the Kingdom Builders Academy podcast today. Join us again for our next exciting episode.